Hey guys, welcome to my channel. On this video, we're going to talk about electrolytes. So when I got into the intermittent fasting and the ketogenic diet, I was like most of you, just looking up, Googling, going on YouTube, punching in intermittent fasting. There's some amazing videos out there, like I say on any one of my videos, go check them out. Jason Fung is, in my opinion, the best guy to look up for intermittent fasting. He talks a lot about ketogenic diet also. Eric Berg, I find that his videos are really good and they're short and sweet, so they get to the point and you can learn a lot. A little plug-in for www.ruled.me, an excellent site if you want to start out a ketogenic diet. It pretty much does everything for you. It has a macronutrient calculator so that you have an idea of protein, fat, carbs, how much, roughly you should be aiming at for your size and for your age. Nutritionaldata.self is another website that I used often to know where carbs were hiding in my diet. I suggest the first week, at least a week, but a week or two is good, to do a food journal. And then you go on nutritionaldata.self, you look it up. It has a nutritional information box for pretty much anything that you punch in. And it's that way that you're able to see where those little carbs are sneaking in. And you might think that, all right, I'm eating 20 grams, I'm eating 30 grams, and you might be a lot higher. So nutritionaldata.self was really helpful for me. But let's stick to the topic of electrolytes. So I was worried that, with the fasting, would my electrolytes be out of whack? Would I be missing sodium? Would my potassium be low? Ketogenic diets are known to lower, I won't say lower, but they suggest that you have a higher intake of sodium. So I wanted to know, how much of increase in sodium do you actually need? And I was looking around. Some places it was saying 5 to 7 grams. And I wanted to know, okay, I have to up my sodium intake, but is it actually going to a dangerous level that's going to cause, health concerns for me? The answer that I found, is as long as you have a well-planned ketogenic diet with a lot of fibrous vegetables and once in a while throwing in some berries, you shouldn't have any problems with your electrolytes being all out of whack. If you're eating greens, kale, asparagus, Brussels sprouts, what else? Broccoli, mushrooms, cucumbers, cabbage. You can go on any ketogenic site and just say ketogenic fibrous vegetables, and you'll have a nice big list there already made for you. If you're getting these vegetables, pretty much your sodium, your potassium, your magnesium, your calcium, and all the important electrolytes are in there. Meat is a great source also of the minerals and the vitamins and the electrolytes that you need. What else? Fish is a high source of some essential minerals. Meat, fish, nuts, have macadamia nuts, almonds. Just make sure to do your research for the nuts, that some of them are higher in carbs than others. So there's some that are more keto friendly, but any of the nuts that you choose, like almonds or macadamia nuts, are great sources also of essential minerals and vitamins, etc. If ketogenic diet and intermittent fasting are healthy and a natural thing that the human body should do, then we shouldn't need to be stuffing our face with store-bought supplements. So when I started it, I was pretty lost about the electrolytes. So I went and I bought magnesium. I bought this one, and I bought Himalayan salt. I bought salt substitute, which is potassium, which is all fine and dandy. But I just want you guys to know and not do like me and go totally overboard with the supplements and the vitamins. If you're feeling edgy about it and you want to cover yourself and you want to be sure, get yourself a multivitamin, and that should cover everything. The reason that I'm really confident right now when I'm telling you that is that I read a book. It's The Complete Guide to Fasting. It's by Jason Fung and Jimmy Moore. What they're saying in that book is based on sound science. There's references for you to go and look up on the internet, on the medical journals, just to make sure. This is just to put things in perspective, all right? In the book, it talks about one guy that actually fasted for 382 days. He was morbidly obese, and he fasted for 382 days, and the only thing besides water that he took was a multivitamin, and he did fine. And his sodium, his potassium, his basically all his electrolytes were normal. There are slight variations and slight fluctuations, but none of them went outside the normal levels where it can become a health concern. Now you hear talk about the keto flu. It's not a virus. It's basically when you have a little bit less sodium. Now, when I say less sodium, it just means that your sodium's on the lowish side, and it can give you some symptoms. Dizziness, just feeling run down and no energy. It can cause some stomach issues. You might feel nauseous, get some cramps. You can also have some late cramps, and it can affect your sleeping. You might get insomnia. Now, the keto flu, they often say that happens the first 7 days. It didn't happen to me, but I think I had one night that I woke up with a Charlie horse, so I guess that's a late cramp, and I had the magnesium supplements, so I remember I did get up. It's true, I was lying. I did have one symptom, which was definitely one night, the late cramps, so I took a magnesium supplement. I took a little bit of Himalayan salt, cracked it, took that down with water, and I never had a cramp again. A little bit of nausea did happen, and that was like intermittent fasting. It was nothing really serious. I did feel a bit queasy a bit, but it went away. I didn't ralph or anything. Am I forgetting anything for the keto flu? I wrote it down here. So what I researched and I wrote it all down. They say sugar cravings, which is quite normal if you're starting out. Like I said, the keto flu is the first 7 days often that you might get these symptoms. While sugar cravings is normal, especially if you were a person that really ate a lot of sugar. You're going to go through sugar withdrawal. If you were a really big junk food eater, then maybe you want to try and phase out the sugar gradually before you go hardcore on the keto. I think it might make just common sense. It might be a smoother ride, because I want you to succeed in the ketogenic diet. I want you to succeed with the intermittent fasting. So if you have to ease into it so that it's successful and you don't have any negative effects, then great. Because if you're not aware of this keto flu, then you might not feel well, and you might say to yourself, this is not good, it's not healthy. I knew I shouldn't have listened to these idiots on the internet. They're trying to kill me. I don't feel well. They're telling me to eat fat. That was insane. I'm probably going to have a heart attack. So I want you to be aware of the keto flu, because it has to do with the electrolytes. There was another person that was studied, and that person fasted 117 days. Also a person that just took water and a multivitamin, and that person's electrolytes in their blood were normal. They tested their lipids and their proteins, so everything was fine. So we're talking about intermittent fasting. So for people that are doing 16 hours of fasting and an 8-hour window where they get their meals in, or even if you're stretching it to 20 hours, 24 hours, and even 3 days, I'm not going to talk about more than a 3-day fast because I've never done it. So I'm just going to shut up about that. But I'm confident up to 3 days, especially if you're talking about 16 hours. Don't worry about electrolytes. Don't overdo it with the water. Just drink a normal amount of water. If you're thirsty, drink. If it's a hot day, drink a little bit more water. But trust your body, especially once you start the intermittent fasting and the keto diet. Your leptin, your ghrelin, a lot of your hormones will be a lot more stabilized, and you'll be able to start trusting your body, what it's saying. When you're eating sugar, especially processed sugar, but even just healthy carbs, and eating 50 to 60% of your diet with carbs is going to throw completely out of whack, in my opinion, your hormones. You can't trust when you're hungry, you're getting sugar cravings. So with the ketogenic diet, everything pretty much, in my experience personally, I'll try and stick to personally how I feel. My hunger's completely under control. I'm hardly ever hungry. So that is pretty much the end of the video. So a fast recap: intermittent fasting, ketogenic diet. Yes, you can up your sodium intake, put a little bit more salt when you're eating your meals. If you have any of the keto flu symptoms, take a little bit of salt, with water if you're fasting, or put more salt that day in your meal, and the symptoms for keto flu should go away. You should be able to get all that you need with vitamins and minerals through your healthy fibrous greens. And we are allowed to eat a small amount of fruits. I don't eat the fruits every day, but every 2 or 3 days I grab some berries. There's frozen berries that I buy at the supermarket, and they're pretty cheap, because if you just buy store-bought berries, they're really expensive. These ones are the same price all year around. It's a huge bag. It's about 10 bucks Canadian, 12 bucks with tax. You can convert it if you're from the States or somewhere else. It's cheap. It's not expensive for the amount of frozen berries you get. I like the berries. They're not too high in fructose and sugar. So I do take berries, and that's a great source of vitamins also. Keep in mind, I have nothing against fruits, but the fruits that are in the supermarket are genetically modified. They've been modified so that they're bigger, that they're more sugary, and that's the issue. Fruits were a lot less sugary in their natural state, like a long time ago. I have some wild berries and some wild grapes. They're sour and they're super small. So that's the way they were in nature. But what we're getting in the supermarket, yeah, it's good for your vitamins, but they're on steroids when it comes to sugar compared to what what God created. So that's it. I'm gonna keep it short. Finally, I'm able to do videos that are under 15 minutes, so I'm doing good. All right, guys, see you, and please subscribe if you like my channel. All right, see ya.